Yo, motherfucking Jem Veda in the building, y'all. What's up, bro? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing, Malik?
I'm good, G. I'm good. If y'all don't know Jem Veda, man, his channel is like basically focused around spirituality, psychology,
Yeah,
sociology, all that type of good jazz.
yeah,
But he has like what, almost 200,000 subscribers, bro.
yeah. We're close
I,
to that. We're close to that.
yeah,
It's kind of surreal, to be
I
honest.
consider you to be like a big figure in the spirituality side of psychology side of YouTube. So it's dope for you to join because I got a small channel, but it's on the come up, it's growing.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. You know,
Sir.
you reached out too. I know we scheduled conflict the other day, but glad we're here.
No, no biggie, bro. I'm glad we are able to get it in now. But bro, you Senegalese?
Yeah, I'm from Senegal. Yeah,
Hey, yo, Nagadem Fala Buck, bro.
my Wolof is like this small. The reason why is because when we immigrated here, my direct family, like we just spoke French.
Okay, yeah.
But my sisters and mom kind of speak Wolof.
Yeah.
My Wolof is I gotta work on that.
Dude, like same here. My wallet is trash too. I was thinking you'd school me like real quick, whatever. But no, bro, my
Yeah.
people's they from Gambia.
Oh,
But
cool. Almost
yeah,
close.
bro. So when I saw you was from Senegal, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's so cool because I've never met like anybody from where we from who speaks like how you do.
Yeah.
So I thought that was
Yeah.
really interesting and unique.
That's a good point. I think a big reason why is just the culture is very collectivist. And
Facts.
one of the big thing that brings the culture together is religion.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest religions is Islam.
Yeah.
Senegal is like 95% Islamic. Um,
Right.
so, you know, there's a lot of tradition, and
Yeah.
I do have respect for that for sure. But I think that's one of the factors as to why it's not as common maybe to see someone like me maybe talking about a lot of these topics.
Yeah. Like you said, like the culture is very collectivistic and
Yeah,
it's like they're very conditioned like to be oriented towards Islam and like to not even
yeah,
allow any other sort of like mental perspective in, which if
absolutely,
you think about it is kind of a good thing because it like really holds society together and glues everything, keeps everything in check, but it also has its negative side because people aren't very open-minded to the things that we would talk about in terms of like psychology or spirituality, I find.
absolutely, yeah. It just comes down to survival, and when someone has something they believe in together, they can just there's more agreement, there's less conflict, and they can just focus on things that help their survival. So that's a good point.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro. So like, how would you define yourself and what you would do?
In terms of what exactly?
Your YouTube channel. Because
Yeah.
like I
Oh,
said,
what I do.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought you said what you would do, but
Oh no.
yeah, how I would define myself. My YouTube channel, as you know, like the main pillars are spirituality, psychology, and also self-improvement.
Yeah,
Um, but then you have like those are the three main buckets of what I do. But you also have other things. I think you kind of touched on sociology, huge in terms of understanding like humans and groups of humans and them interacting with each other.
yeah,
Um, a little things, some things I touch on also deal with neuroscience, right? How the brain works, the chemicals of the brain, how they affect the body. Um, other things I touch a tinge bit also on a little bit of relationships as well. Um, a lot of these topics are based off my personal experience, my research, and mentors I've learned from. And there's a long list, and I believe a mentor isn't just someone you speak to directly. It can be someone you just watch, right? And or you read about, and you take their content, and it changes your life. So I say those are like what my channel is all about. That's what I'm about. And it's also what people come to me for. Mostly the psychology and spiritual side of things, but a lot of these fields interact with each other. If you think of like a Venn diagram, like the middle part, they have like a connection. So I try to touch on those and just go into detail and help people understand themselves better.
nice. How if you like think back, can you remember like if there was any sort of trigger that kind of made you go this into like this trajectory? Like I'm assuming before you like uh had your newfound perspective on life? Like you were basically just Christian. You were just like conditioned to the beliefs that your family had for you and everything. And so like do you remember like was there some sort of trigger that like made you have all this new thinking or that made you look at life differently?
That's a good question. I don't know if it was one trigger. I feel like it was gradual throughout my life.
Yeah.
So growing up in the Catholic Church, there's just a part of me that wanted to question it, right? Like it wasn't overt, like constantly going up to my mom and saying,
Yeah.
"Oh, why do we believe this?" Because like it wasn't that.
Dude, I'm sorry to cut you off, but bro,
Yeah.
I was such like a weird kid, dog. I remember asking my mom questions just like, yo, what is a person?
There you go.
And bro,
No,
and she,
that's beautiful because those are good
yeah,
questions to ask. Even the basic stuff. What is a person?
right. And
Like
like I just remember her always like not being able to answer me or give me a
answer.
sufficient answer. They would just be like, yo, who is this kid? Like, where is he from, bro?
That's
They
right.
would- yeah,
Because like, and this is called heuristics, where we just save time. Like we have a topic and we have associations, and we just want to save time. Like, okay, teach me about this subject. Okay, you give me the basics. Okay, cool. I kind of know it. I feel like I know it at least. But if you ask like more detailed questions around it, it's
yeah,
hard to answer because why? The understanding isn't necessarily there. So that was the thing with
true.
church. It was like it felt as though I was just given this belief system.
Yeah, exactly.
And there were so many things in reality that were contradicting it.
Yeah,
Why is it wrong to, wait till marriage to be intimate with somebody? Like,
yeah,
why? I have
yeah.
biological urges to do it
Right,
before marriage.
right, exactly.
It's something basic like that. I'm like, there's too many things here that just aren't aligned with me. And
Right.
um, as time went on, it was just more things that I'd be interested in just leveling up. Like I play video games, and I just found it cool that players get better. And I
Hmm.
would watch TV shows and like people, there's character development, and there's like some sort of trajectory. So I found, things like socializing. Like I'd look up videos on socializing,
Hmm.
videos on dating, videos on psychology of people, social dynamics, meditation.
Okay, what
Well,
age is this? Sorry. Like when you just
so
in your
yeah,
research.
yeah, good question. So as I'm getting older, the self-development kind of starts around middle school, around like age
Okay.
12. So like
Wow.
in terms of like exercising, you know, like basic stuff, confidence, basic stuff like that.
Hmm.
And then as I get into my high school years, right, it's it's somewhat the same. It was really end of high school, post high school, where like I really started kicking to overdrive, right? Because I want to just build myself. Like, how do I become more confident? Searching things
Hmm.
like that. Why do I react this way in this situation? Why does this person respond this way?
Yeah.
And then it led me to books, right? Like The Power of Now.
Yeah.
Um, it's led me to so many things that I'm just reflecting on myself. And I have more questions, and it
Yeah.
just deeper and deeper and deeper. So it was very gradual,
Hmm.
and I noticed like so many changes in myself just from even just a year ago. So
Yeah.
many changes. And it just comes down to making it this really like my lifestyle, right? Not like I'm reading 24/7, not that, but
Yeah.
just
Yeah. Yeah.
live my life, but like reflect, right? It's just a habit that I do.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
That's interesting. I'd say like that's earlier than most people who come to the self-development lane, kind of, or psychology. Is like when you're 18, 17, not everybody is thinking about these type of things that we're talking about right now. So I feel like you're definitely an outlier
Oh, for
because
sure.
like at that age where you're going to college, most people are talking about, oh, let's the college experience, living it up, casual sex, everything like that. But
Yeah.
you are a lot more focused. And a lot of people don't come to this like perspective until like they're in they like past 25 or like late 20s.
Mhm.
So I think that's really cool that you were able to like become introspective early on kind of in life.
Yeah, I think I've taken that for granted actually. It's something that lately I've been trying to appreciate more was just my ability to develop it somewhat sooner. just being introspective, because
Yeah, I can
you can
relate
just
to
build a
that.
habit.
Yeah.
And yeah, you just build the habit. So yeah.
Who would you say are like your main influences? Like if I talk about me myself is the the way I came to like this whole spiritual self-development journey was kind of like through music.
Mm.
Cause I used to like back in 2012, are you aware of the rap group Flatbush Zombies, Joey Badass, Pro Era?
Of course, I've been to their concerts.
Okay, bro. That's what I'm
Yeah,
talking about. So
I I have a Pro Era hoodie. It's in the laundry, but
dog, I used to have
love
like one
Pro
of their
Era.
little hats. I don't even know where it is anymore. I was such a huge fan.
Cool. I seen them. I seen the Flatbush Zombies, Pro Era. I also seen
What
the
were the
under.
underachievers?
I love the Underachievers. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're actually one of my. Okay, I'll touch on that, but they're one of my influences. But go ahead.
Okay. The
Yeah,
same here, bro. It was through like the underachievers, the whole Beast Coast era movement, where they
yeah.
would like bring up these new age topics about like third eye
Yep.
or enlightenment or transcendence. And I'm just like listening to this, like, what are these fucking people talking about? Like, what is this third
Um,
eye shit?
there's so many. Yes, especially the Underachievers for me. There's so many songs from their albums. Some albums off the top of my head, Cellar Door, um,
Yeah.
Indigoism, of course.
Mhm.
There's so many songs that touch on enlightenment, bet
Yeah.
on yourself.
Yeah.
In my junior year of high school, there's kind of a patch in my junior year of high school that was I don't know, a little bit difficult for me. And there's a song by the Underachievers called "The Proclamation,"
I know what you're talking about.
and in the hook, the chorus, Issa sings, "All your life they said that you ain't gonna be shit.
Yeah.
Now Indigo Soul, we run this bitch." Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can't remember
yeah,
the
so
words, but when you say it, it comes back.
exactly. So then, like, right then, I'm like, wow, people can tell you whatever,
Yeah.
but at a certain point where their words doesn't matter. Like, it really, I love that song so much because like it always showed like there's a light
Hmm.
at the end of the tunnel. So yeah, it's interesting you brought up them,
Yeah.
uh, because they're one of my influences for sure.
That's what's up, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. I was just thinking about like, yeah, if it wasn't for them, like my whole life trajectory would have been completely different, dog.
yeah,
Because before then, I was not privy to ideas like meditation or I don't know, detachment
yeah,
or introspection like that, or even psychedelics. I don't know
yeah.
if you dabbling with the psychedelics. What is your perspective on psychedelics? Like, do you think there's some benefits that can be gained, or do you think that it's something to be deemed as bad or negative because people abuse it, obviously? But
Yeah. With psychedelics, I haven't had direct experience with psychedelics, but there are a lot of accounts of psychedelics helping people transcend the ego and to them just, having more God realization. I think that's
mhm.
beautiful. And the fact that there's so many instances of people saying the same things,
Yeah.
there's probably some truth to it.
Hmm.
I'm always careful with like just having broad terms in terms of this is bad, this is good.
Hmm.
Think it's like a human nature to keep things simplistic like that. This is bad. This is good.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't want to spend brain calories.
Yeah.
I think it just comes down to education and research behind it. And then also like, doing the safety protocols. Because if so many people have gotten benefits from it, it's something to look into and
Hmm.
not demonize altogether. Just because your culture may demonize it,
Hmm.
mean to not look into it. So I don't have direct experience with it, but I do my research every now and again around it.
Yeah.
The time is right, it's something I can look into. But um, yeah, like for people watching this, like just you want to be careful with just black and white thinking
Yeah.
because
Yep.
just the basics of self-help is nuance. Like just understand
Yes,
nuance.
bro. And if you think about it, that's the basis of spirituality. And I feel like the main differentiator between contemporary religion and spirituality. Because like
Yeah,
contemporary religion is like the whole dichotomy between good and evil. It like puts things into boxes. And then
yeah,
spirituality kind of like shifts your mindset into like seeing the nuance, seeing there's
yes,
good within the bad and there's even bad within good. Like you can have good intentions, right? Like the saying goes, the road to hell is filled with good intentions. It's like just because you have a good intention doesn't necessarily mean the execution of that will lead to good outcomes. So it's like life is very nuanced like that.
Absolutely. And that's why I also touch on philosophy in my videos,
Yeah.
questioning things.
Mhm.
Because you know, when bring up philosophy, you could bring up morality, like what is good and what is bad, what is considered good, what is considered bad. I
Mhm.
truly believe that morality is relative. Don't get me wrong, a lot of us probably have shared morality, right? Like, look,
You
don't
see, this
punch
is
that.
where the religious people call us satanic.
Exactly. Like you and I probably share, hey, if you're walking down the street and someone gets you mad, like for example, you and I probably share that don't run up and punch someone in the face. We probably share that.
Yeah,
There's someone that doesn't share that. We
true.
don't have the same morality. That's not someone I would vibe with.
Hmm.
But our perceptions of good and evil just are different.
Hmm.
And this is hard to grasp. Why? Because the brain likes to save time. The ego likes to save time. Like,
True.
I don't know, my religion says this, then, and third.
Hmm.
So, and I think this leads to a lot of guilt in how people live their lives is because they don't have nuance around their morality and they haven't identified
Hmm.
their morality.
True.
They say, my mom says this, their
Yeah.
mom's like living in their brain. This is called introjection.
Bro, you'll see people 30 years old and above. Hey, my dad always told me this, dog. I'm like, bro, so you never like questioned that?
And it's funny because your parents live in a different time frame. And
Yeah.
there's so many reasons why your parents are the way they are. If you live your
Fact.
life based off them, you're
Yeah.
a fraction of a life.
And I feel like that's one realization that keeps a lot of people from forgiving their parents is the
Yes.
realization that these people were just like you, if not better or worse. But yeah,
Yes, forgiveness is big, especially with your parents. That's something I had to work on,
same, bro.
growing up with my dad, that wasn't around. Also my mom, right? Instances where she just was under a lot of stress.
Hmm.
She may lash out a little bit, but it's just
Yeah.
understanding. When you have understanding, like it's harder to be mad at someone. I got that's something that Alex Ramosi talks about that I really like understanding.
Hmm.
When you understand someone deeply, like you're like, okay, I know why they're doing that.
Yeah.
That's why I have that series, Understanding People, on my channel, is because like when you understand society and people, you're less like you might get mad a little bit less. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah, man. You start to like realize this has nothing to do with you more than half of the time. It's
yeah,
like it's the other person, like whatever internal conflict they're dealing with.
absolutely.
So like if you have that perspective, if someone's just bitching to you at work, you just fucking negate it or just realize, yo, this is not my problem to fight. This is this guy's stuff.
This guy's
It's not
stuff,
my stuff.
his traumas, his
Yeah.
beliefs. Maybe this weekend, I don't know. He heard about some bad news.
Yeah.
And he's carrying that. Like when you know this stuff, like you can start piecing together people, and
Yeah.
it builds the understanding.
Right. It's very interesting, bro. Like the more understanding that you develop within yourself, like the more understanding you have with other people, like in the same way, dog. It's like this information seems so obvious, but
Yeah.
nobody knows this, bro. And at least that's how I feel. Not enough people know this in society. And it's like if you do, you almost have like a slight edge or a slight advantage in like in your movement through the world, man.
Yeah, that's why I do this is because I feel like a lot of this information should be accessible.
Yeah.
I was like on a client call last week and like he asked me like, wow, like this is great. So, like, why do you do this? I'm like, because I have instances in my life where like I'm running into a problem,
Hmm.
but because of what I know, I just go right around the problem. The problem doesn't last that long. Like if I'm experiencing frustration, it lasts for like 2 minutes and then it's gone.
Hmm.
You know how to put things in
Exactly.
perspective.
You're not attached. You're not attached. It's like this healthy level of disassociation which meditation instills in you. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I kid you not. 2 weeks ago, my AirPod thing, the AirPods aren't cheap.
They not. I know.
uh, like it literally got lost in my car. Like it fell so deep into like this little hole in the seatbelt.
Yeah.
Spent like 2, 3 minutes looking for it. I was like, it's fine. It's not even me flexing. Even if I
Yeah,
didn't have $1 to me, I
yeah,
kid you not.
I
I'm
know.
like, things come and go. It's okay.
Yeah,
Am I gonna be alive if I can't find this again? Yes, I'm gonna be just fine.
right.
So it's a detachment, understanding impermanence that it helps so much. And this it's part of what I do is helping people understand this. And that's why I love the mantra, it doesn't matter. It's not being nihilistic. It's just like appreciate that a lot of things don't matter and they don't deserve so much emotional input from you.
Yeah, I totally agree, bro. That's definitely a perspective that more people need to be enlightened to. Because I feel sorry for people, like even people who I've worked with before, dog. You see, like the shit that just gets them triggered, and you're just like, bro, are you for real right now? You have no idea how much power you are just letting go of. Like human
Yes,
beings, I feel like we inherently have so much power within us, but society and then conditioning just conditions us to give it away to the exterior,
absolutely.
just to give it away to people.
Absolutely. And keyword their power.
Yeah,
Because with power, you know what you're capable of. And you just also go towards the things you want in life. And this is called purpose.
yeah,
One of the best things that have helped me not get so annoyed by petty things is the fact that I have a life purpose. I have things I'm going towards.
mm-hmm,
My YouTube videos, my
mm-hmm,
marketing business. Not even and aside from just like career, my relationships, my family, the relationship I have with my girlfriend. I have all these other things that anchor me towards like something I want to progress in or just appreciate more. That if some small things happen, not even small, it can be even bigger.
mm-hmm.
It doesn't get to me like because I'm anchored by other things. There's a bigger picture, right? There's
Mm-hmm.
a bigger picture and like problems that people have that seem big,
Yeah,
it seems really petty to me.
mm-hmm.
Like, for example, a flat tire that
Yeah,
could send someone through the wall all week. They're
yeah, yeah.
why? What are they doing in their life? Not
Mm-hmm.
much. So that event is significant. To me, a flat tire, I'm like, oh well, oh damn. Oh well.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that's helped me besides just detachment is just purpose and something that anchors you, something that grounds you, that's bigger than uh the petty things. Also, my community grounds me. People people saying like this one video changed your life. I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
it's bigger than me.
Yeah.
So those
Yeah,
days,
bro. Yeah.
so those days where I'm like, okay, let's go plan this video, and maybe the video is a little complex. I have to think
Mm-hmm.
more, I have to do more research.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter how I feel. This isn't
Yeah.
about me. It's about
It's
other
not.
people. Right?
Yeah.
It's another thing that grounds me. When petty things come about,
Yeah.
purpose.
Facts, bro. But I was watching one of your videos. You was talking about basically like how you were always tall. And
Yeah,
so like you could like sense people's anxiousness when you walked into a room because you're like 6'4", right?
yeah. I'm 6'4".
Yeah, and like you could feel people's anxiousness like once you enter the room, and then like over time, subconsciously, you said you started like hunching over or making yourself smaller for people, and you had to
Yeah,
realize you were doing this. I thought that was really interesting, and I just want to know like how did you like psychologically understand what you were doing?
yeah. Good question. This is just reflection. I noticed this throughout high school and also a bit of college.
Mm.
Um, More specifically, like when I would walk into like one of my classes, like you just feel energy and also
Yeah,
people
you do.
and stuff. Like you can feel someone almost slightly deflating. This isn't everybody, of course, but some people like almost deflating a little bit
Mm-hmm.
when like looking at me and my height.
Mm-hmm.
So from there, subconsciously, whether
And
it
you were
was
like, bro, if you knew how dumb I was right now. I can relate too because I'm like taller too, and we're black, bro. And so I just feel like naturally it's like
that's
unfortunate.
another thing.
Yeah,
That's
it's like
another thing, like being
people
black and like
become
the
intimidated.
associations too.
Yeah, the associations they have with it too. That's very correct.
Exactly, like the idea, oh, like you're intimidating and all of that.
Yeah.
So like that, I guess I also contributed to it. So like subconsciously, I'm like, oh, I don't want to make this person feel this way and all of that.
Yeah.
And it just took reflection and just noticing things. And I was like, wow, even the way I walk,
Yeah.
I'm like, I just changed it. I'm like, no, I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna stand upright. I'm gonna be me
Right.
because how someone responds to me in
Hmm.
that context has nothing to do with me. And then in that video, I gave the example of my coworker at the time.
Hmm.
Look at the
Yeah.
context. I know I had an understanding of how he was. So people say, oh, like maybe he was complimenting you. No, no. You have to understand tonality in the person as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there were always comments that he would make around like, because based on how he behaved, I did threaten him.
Hmm.
That day where I walked in my actual posture,
Hmm.
he felt as though I was walking like I owned the place.
Yeah. You see how he tried to spell cast you right there, bro?
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
sometimes they don't even realize like the things that they're doing to other people, like the negative effects that this is magic. Everything is magic, bro. That's how I look at it, at least. And like by him saying that to you, he was trying to instill an insecurity within you. And it's just like, bro, people don't even know what they're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's him.
Yeah.
Someone else in that store, was a computer store. Someone else in that store may see me and be like, oh, he's confident.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
exactly. Someone else may be like, oh, he reminds me of like my cousin.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Someone else may be like, man, who's this guy I think he is? I don't care about the reactions.
Mm-hmm.
They're just responses. There's so many reasons why that person responds that way.
Yeah.
How can I let that affect my frequency and what I do? It shouldn't. So I won't let it. That's really how it is.
Absolutely, man. I completely agree. Um, what are some things like that, let's say, you feel that aren't widely known enough, at least like within this space that we exist in, this psychology self-development space? Like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
if you had to say, I don't know, one or two things that you feel like people need to know that they don't know about life, like what do you think it is?
I think one topic that people should really visit, and it was one of the biggest revelations I've had, um, is emotional addiction.
Mm.
The fact that we can get addicted to the emotions we experience. Why? Because our ego is attached to them. Someone that's someone that's gone through some hardship in their life, hardship, difficulty, they can have they can be more prone to like stress.
Hmm.
And they're used to like experiencing stress. Even if their life is less stressful, they're
Hmm.
looking for things to stress about. The body also develops chemicals around that feeling. It's cortisol, for example, right? Also, from like a brain chemistry standpoint, maybe they experience less serotonin, that feel good chemical, that long term feel good chemical.
Hmm.
So it's based off their thoughts and emotions that they're just reliving the same situations, the same stress in their life.
Hmm.
How do you flip that? Well, you start to understand that it's an addiction you have, but it's just an emotion. That doesn't mean it's you, it's what you're experiencing. This is a huge topic I had a takeaway from George Dispenza, right? He's a scientist and he also touches on things like meditation
Hmm.
and the body and all of that. I think emotional addiction is a huge topic. I think should be talked about more. I have a video on it. Um, Another thing I think needs to be talked about more is things like self-reflection, right? Earlier you asked me how did I kind of develop in this way? It was
Hmm.
my life experiences as part of it, and part of my video ideas come from my life experience. But it's because I've self-reflected from my life experiences. If something happened that I didn't like, okay, what can I do to not, have that happen? If
Yeah.
I was talking to someone and I got angry in the communication,
Yeah.
reflecting why I got angry. In my relationship, if something annoyed me that was so small, why does that annoy me?
Yeah.
And maybe I can talk about it with my partner, or I
Hmm.
can reflect on it and then talk about it with her later.
Yeah.
So self-reflection is big, and I think we're just in a distracted society. Not
Mm-hmm.
saying I don't get distracted. I do. Um, but I still leave instances open for that. And I
Mm-hmm.
think it requires some alone time sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you right now, the pandemic actually kind of helped me in my self-development.
Okay. How
So much
so?
time to be away. Like I would go on so many walks, I would reflect so much. I was away from social media a lot. And I think that was a wake-up call actually of the importance of self-reflection. So I think that's another thing that needs to be talked about more. Um, what else? There's
There's
so
so
much.
many though, right? I just want to say real quick, dog, like the things that you're saying, like they're very important, and I feel like they should be so obvious. And like I don't understand why these things like emotional intelligence or self-reflection, introspection, why isn't this taught to us at an early age? Like once we enter the motherfucking education system, I feel like they should be teaching us like, yo, this is how you watch your thoughts. This is how you maintain a healthy level of dissociation. This is how you don't hate yourself. Basically,
It's
bro.
interesting. You know
It's
what
like
it
I don't
is?
know. I don't know. I feel like if we just reverse engineered society, started with instead of like teaching us ABCs, let's teach about us about how to relate to one each other, how to like do some internal reflections, like, and then like from the bottom up, society would just be better, right? Because we're starting at the root of things. But these things aren't talked about, you know. Instead of they teach you about the Pythagorean theorem and stuff, and so it's like, bro, is it makes me think: are they doing this on purpose, or is this just incompetence? Because there's another saying: it's like instead of always thinking something is malevolence, first assume that it's just incompetence of people, you know. And
Yeah.
so I've always been curious, like, why do you think these type of subjects, these more or esoteric or religious subjects, aren't discussed in school?
I think the school system has been set in its ways for such a long time, and I think to people that kind of run it, it's like it seems like it's worked, right? It creates a conveyor belt of kind of somewhat of the same person. Like this person graduated, they went to college, they graduated from college, and they got this corporate job. Now they're contributing to this corporation here. So when you look at like a big system, it doesn't take too much into consideration
Yeah.
the holisticness of just an individual part.
Individual.
An
Exactly.
individual part. This
Exactly.
just go for the education system. This goes for jobs as well.
Societal change, even that's why like a lot of
Exactly.
thinkers they've said that societal change will always have to start on the individual level, can never happen on a collective because of the many nuances that each individual has, you know. But yeah,
That's
continue,
right.
bro.
So when someone's going through the school system, and I'm a perfect example, there's so many subjects I don't care about.
Yeah, I
I
know.
don't care, especially when I got to high school. Oh man, there were so many
I
subjects
want
I
to
didn't.
know, what were you leaning towards? Were you more math, science, or were you like English and literature?
Good question.
Me
Okay.
myself, I was always like English, literature, history, social studies, math, bro. I'm still retarded. Like, you ask me like 36 times 50, or dude, I won't be able to tell you.
Yeah,
Basic math.
I leaned more towards literature in high school, but then in college I kind of like leaned more towards like technology, programming. I didn't like math, but I knew it was part of it, so I didn't mind it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I leaned more towards that, right?
Okay.
At least when I got to college, from the school system point of view, there was still a subject, computer science, that I did have some interest in, right? I'd find myself getting into the books and all of that, and it taught me how to think really well. So I did like that. But my problem though was like leading up to college and even part of college was just how copy and paste the education was, and how it was, like you said, so many subjects that don't like matter enough to be emphasized as much as they were emphasized, and how forgettable and how robotic everything is. And it teaches kids that their intelligence is measured by their grades.
Because that's such a bad system we
It's just
have, bro.
nonsense.
It makes idiots think they're smart. Like that's the issue.
Exactly.
It's like all you can do is just memorize information really well.
Exactly.
But that
I was
doesn't,
like a, I was like
yeah,
a BC student.
same, bro.
It's like a BC student. I was
Yeah.
like why? It was just the subject matter, the way it was taught.
Mm-hmm.
It's been taught like that for so many years. They just continue to teach it.
Yeah.
When I got to, like, eventually I learned just the importance of self-education. And there were so many subjects that I was like, wow, this is way more applicable to my life. And in
Yeah.
fact, these subjects are what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
um, College also, what I liked about it, I dropped out. I don't know if you know that. I mentioned that a lot in videos. One of the subjects I gravitated towards was philosophy and psychology. That's what I
Yep.
do.
Same, bro. Dog,
Like,
when I found you, bro, I was like, bro, this man is a reflection of me. Like I said, bro, there's nobody like where we're from that talks the way we do. I was like, bro, I thought I was the only one out here, man.
beautiful beauty of the internet, you know, connecting with people.
Yeah, then like a fucking associate of mine just sent me your shit, bro, and I was just like, whoa. And then I saw the Senegalese flag. I'm like, wow, look at God.
Awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, oh my God, my philosophy and psychology classes. I'm not kidding. There are instances where you think I'm preaching in my videos. Like, there are instances where, like, the professor would ask the class a question.
Uh-huh.
I'd go on a monologue. I kid you not. I'd go on a monologue. And
Like, is this kid autistic, bro?
I kid you not, one of my philosophy classes, I was leaving, like, we were wrapping up and leaving.
Yeah.
I think there were like three students that came up to me. They're like, man, like, what you said was so profound, and what you said about this, that, and that. I was like, thanks, I guess.
Yeah. This
I
is
was in
like,
a flow state. So
yeah.
little did I know, like, that was like one of the breadcrumbs to like me leading me to what I do today.
Mm-hmm.
And also another thing, speaking of self-education,
Yeah.
to point, there's one summer where my friend lent me a book called Cashvertising. It was
Okay.
a marketing book, and I was like, okay, let me check it out. Like, when I'm bored and all of that, and the correlations between the correlations that marketing had with psychology, I was like, whoa. And
Yeah,
like,
it's basically the same thing. I know I was really surprised about that too, because whenever like somebody brought up marketing, be like, bro, that sounds so boring. But then you study psychology and then take a second look back at marketing, like, damn, they're using the psychology tactics in marketing.
exactly. So
Yeah.
that book touched on so many psychological tactics and just like human biases, and it touched on color theory and copywriting and words that evoke an emotion. And I was like, whoa. And I was like, I need to, like, if I want to be an entrepreneur at some point, I need to learn marketing. And I
Yeah.
started to like it so much. I'm like, one day I was at my friend's house. I was like, we should start a business. I think he came up with that. I was like, oh, wait, maybe we should. We just
Mm,
give it a try.
mm.
Talk to businesses, right? Started running ads for them. That started my other career, which was my marketing business.
Nice. So you do marketing on the side too?
Yeah, so I do psychology coaching. Also have a marketing business, right? Where we do ads and content for clients.
Smart.
And even business has developed me like crazy. Business has forced me to develop as well,
Mm-hmm.
because they say that your business is a reflection of you.
Yeah.
So true. Um, so yeah, self-education, and a lot of how I am is from self-education. It wasn't me relying on the education system.
Uh-huh.
So yeah.
Dog. So I still have the brokey version of Zoom. My fault. I should have upgraded. This shit is about to end in less than a minute. Thank you for doing this, dog. This was really dope,
Yeah.
really enlightening. It was dope meeting you on this. And I feel like we spoke about a lot of useful information that people can use and apply to their life. Thank you for coming on again. Is there anything you want to plug real quick that you're working on that you want people to be aware of?
Yeah, for sure. You know, I'm Jem Veda on YouTube. I make videos on self-development. I do have an upcoming program around the subconscious mind called The Subconscious Secrets. More details later on that. It's not finished yet. But yeah, just check out my videos. Whatever helps you